Welcome to 5 Minute Salute. I'm your host, Chris Budihas. Today's segment is sponsored by the Military Affairs and Veterans Department, the City of Jacksonville. Harrison Conyers, the team, scoring away our veterans with the military benefits they earn through their service. Talking about veterans, here in the studio, I have Frank Collige with Property Pros Consultants. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you. Yeah. So we're talking a little bit off camera, but let's tell the rest of the nation where you're originally from and what you do in the military.
Okay, I'm originally from Zephyr Hills, Florida, and I was security forces in the Air Force.
Yeah, the grunts of the Air Force.
Pretty much, yes.
That's awesome. So we're going to talk about what you do. So talk about your company and what you do and how you do it, and how'd you get into it?
All right, so basically a very long story short, when I got out of the military, I worked overseas as a contractor, and then I got released because of they were cutting bases.
Yeah.
And then I came back, worked for the state as an investigator, and then I learned about roofing, roof sales, and when I went into roof sales, I learned about what adjusters were.
Yeah.
And then I learned.
I think we all know what an insurance adjuster is.
Insurance adjuster.
That's
yes.
not what you do.
That's not, no. In a way, it is.
Yeah.
But in the insurance adjusting world, you have independent adjusters and staff adjusters who represent the carrier.
Right.
I'm a public adjuster. My job is to represent the property owner. Mm. And so when I learned about what that is, I was like, you know what? I want to be that guy. I want to represent the homeowner because I'm seeing that the insurance companies deny claims left and right, and homeowners have no one to help them. So it's either a public adjuster or an attorney, and so that's how I got into this industry, and I absolutely love it.
And you created this company. We were talking off camera. You created this company 4 years ago.
That's correct.
And you've scaled pretty quickly.
Yes.
So can you tell us what you do? You kind of already explained that a little bit, and where you do it at.
Okay, so we represent the property owner on their insurance claim, and we do it in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, North Carolina, and South Carolina. And as you can imagine, we are extremely busy in South Carolina and Northeast Georgia because of the hurricane.
Hurricane Helene specifically,
Extremely busy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Augusta got slammed, and there's so much damage up there. It's going to take them years to recover.
Okay. So when should somebody reach out to you? Like, hey, I need Property Pros. When should they reach out to you? After an event specifically, or?
Ideally, I would say before they call the claim in, because sometimes you don't have coverage. We've come across policies that people called in and there was no wind coverage, and they called in for a windstorm. Mm. Can you imagine no wind coverage in Florida? Yeah. But unfortunately, there are policies out there excluding wind damage. Yeah. And also, there's a lot of policies out there that limit the amount of damage. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to call in the claim if you only have a $2,500 water loss cap, because now they can hold that against you, raise your rates for $2,500. Yeah. You know, so depending on the claim, it might not be worth filing. Ideally, contact Property Pros first. But if you do file a claim, the moment the insurance company comes back, either underpaying or denying your claim, reach out, because most people don't. Yeah,
I'm going to tell the audience, you know, I learned a lot here. I was talking off camera about this whole space, but, you know, it's true, right? I mean, with law and the complexity of, you know, it could be a disaster relief event or just could be anything else that occurs. You know, having, Property Pros come in as the experts, because there's no way I'm going to self-educate myself that quickly to make a appropriate decision for my situation. But you guys come in, you have the knowledge, you've seen it all. You probably have the reach back capability with your network to go find the answers. Yes. So Property Pros can come in there, educate you on where you're at and what are the multiple courses of action you should pursue, because sometimes you might think you're making a right move, but actually you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One of my favorite things to tell homeowners is the more you talk to the carrier, the less money you get. Mm. Everyone wants to be real helpful. Yeah. And I get it. You know, you want to tell the carrier everything. Yeah. Sometimes less is more. Yeah. And I'm not telling anyone to not tell the truth. Right. Just be very cognizant about what you tell the carrier, because they will take your words out of context. Yeah. Because insurance companies don't make coverage determinations anymore. They make business decisions.
Yeah.
Does this make sense to pay out, or does this make sense to us hold on to it and hope they go away? You know, so they will delay the claim and hope you go away. They will deny the claim and hope you don't challenge it. And then also, one of the biggest things is in the policy, every homeowner, if they read their policy, they have a section called duties after loss.
Yeah.
You're obligated to report the claim promptly. You're obligated to mitigate further damages. You're obligated to provide an estimate of damages.
Oh, really?
And you're obligated to provide a sworn proof of loss. But they don't tell you this. And like certain carriers say, you must do this within 60 days of the date of loss.
Yeah.
The state law says that the timeline that the carrier has to work on is only applicable if the proof of loss has been submitted. So they don't want to tell you to submit the proof of loss, because then they could take their sweet time and they don't have to pay you.
Yeah.
So with hiring a public adjuster, whether Property Pros or another one, it is they will make sure that proof of loss gets submitted, because that puts the carrier on the timeline. That holds their feet to the fire. They have to acknowledge it at that point.
2 last questions. Why should I go to Property Pros and not somebody else in this space?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the answer is, it's up to you.
Okay.
Because every public adjuster out there, there's roughly 10,000 public adjusters in the entire country.
Okay.
You put them all in Florida, we all can stay busy because there's more claims than we can handle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm always out there educating other public adjusters. I bounce ideas off of other PAs.
Yeah.
None of us consider each other competition.
That's good.
We're all collaborators among the industry.
I appreciate that. That's good. Well, it's sad to know that's the state of affairs, but that's just reality. I'm glad you're educating folks. For those out in America, you got a doctorates in business, so I'm glad you're bringing that to this, this forum to educate others too. So, second question, last question: how do we find Property Pros Consulting?
You can go to workmyclaim.com.
Workmyclaim.com.
Yes.
I like that.
It's a wonderful website.
I already like it. It says what it is what it says.
Exactly. Workmyclaim.com, and you can reach out to us directly off of there.
Awesome. Frank, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, you like what you heard, please check out our show notes. Take a look at Property Pros and what they're doing here in the Southeast, across the area. I love what Frank said. There's so much business, really not a competition. They're here to help everybody out. So before you make that claim, you might want to reach out to somebody, to the expert, so to speak, to help you make a wise decision about your future. We'll see you in the next segment and live with gratitude.
When they leave us for battle, we await their return. When their embrace is gone, we imagine them with us. Some don't come back. We grieve. Some come back hurting. We help. Heroes survive. We honor them. Heroes fall. We remember them. 150,000 veterans live in Jacksonville. We serve them. We're the Military Affairs and Veterans Department, City of Jacksonville. Because of them, our light never dims.